When I first started freestyle rapping about 10 years ago, I was so worried about my ability to rhyme, because sometimes I would get to the end of a bar and I wouldn't be able to think of a word that rhymes, and then I would look like an idiot because all I did was spit a half a bar with no ending. So I'm gonna share with you a practice technique that worked for me that you can do for just 5 minutes a day to become unstoppable at rhyming. I call it the rhyme chain, and it is super simple. So let me show you how it's done, and then I'll give you some golden pieces of advice to prevent you from crashing while you freestyle. To do the rhyme chain, all you need is a random word generator, and preferably one with a timer. My favorite is the random word generator mode inside of the rhyme game, because the rhyme game can be set to generate a number of random words and to hide those random words after a specific timer. So I'm gonna set my random word generator to generate one random word and automatically hide that word after 10 seconds. Now here's how you do the rhyme chain. Your job is to generate a random word and then think of a word that rhymes with that random word before the timer runs out. In other words, we're giving ourselves a 10-second timer to think of a rhyme. And every time you successfully think of a rhyme, put one finger up, but every time you fail to think of a rhyme, put all your fingers back down. Your challenge is to get all 10 fingers up, meaning 10 successful rhymes in a row before making a mistake and putting them all back down. So for example, if I generated the word believe, maybe I would say that it rhymes with relieve. Great, so I put a finger up. Now I'm gonna generate another one. Cater. Well, cater rhymes with the word hater, so I'm gonna put another finger up. But if I think of a word promised, maybe I'm struggling and I can't think of a word that rhymes with promised. Ah man, that's a tricky word. Dang, the word went away before I could think of anything that rhymes with it, so I'm gonna put my fingers back down. Now your challenge is to get all 10 fingers up, meaning 10 successful rhymes in a row. If you can do that 10 times in a row, up the challenge. Maybe you go to the settings and make the timer 2 seconds faster. Okay, we can go back and try again, and if we can do 10 in a row that way, we can make the timer 2 seconds faster. See how we can slowly progress ourselves up faster and faster and faster, better and better and better, just by little increments at a time. But I'm not done yet. We can up the challenge level even more. How about we go back to our settings, set our timer back to 10 seconds, but this time we have to think of 2 or 3 rhymes for each random word. So that would sound something like this. Twig, wig, big, swig. Bench, stench, wrench. Drench? It's even challenging for me when I try to think of 3 at a time, right? And here's an important thing is to set parameters for yourself beforehand. So things like, do you allow near rhymes, rhymes that kind of sound like a rhyme but aren't perfect rhymes, or do you just allow perfect rhymes? You can up the challenge that way. We can even add more words to the mix. So maybe instead of reducing the timer, I increase the number of random words I generate and keep the time the same. So now I'm going to generate 4 random words. For example, stride, ride, sang, bang, clicks, sticks, filed, wild. Got that one? How many words can I come up with? Maybe I can come up with 4 rhymes for each of my 4 rhyming words in just 6 seconds. You can come up with all sorts of ways to make the rhyme chain more intense for yourself, and the ultimate goal is that you're able to think of many rhymes very quickly, even in a timed environment, and you're able to do that 10 times in a row. If you're not able to do it 10 times in a row, then maybe you're challenging yourself too much. A good rule of thumb that I use is if I can do it 8 times in a row, I can probably get to 10, but if I can only do something 5 times in a row before I fail, maybe I should make the challenge just a little easier, allowing myself to get 10 in a row before I move on to the more difficult versions of this challenge. And as I said before, this is a 5 minutes a day challenge that you can do. You can do this as a warm-up. You can do this when you're sitting in the car for a second. It really doesn't have to take a ton of your time to get better at rhyming. All it takes is 5 minutes a day, and that little daily repetition, you're going to be amazed at how much better you get at rhyming and how much faster your brain becomes when you start connecting these wires together. But before we go, I want to give you 2 golden nuggets of advice to help you on your freestyle journey. Number 1, I recommend to everybody, start with one-syllable words only. Start by setting your random word generator to one-syllable words because I'm telling you, the ability to master one-syllable rhymes unlocks so much in the rap game. Don't forget, every multi-syllable word ends with one single syllable. So if you become a master of rhyming single syllables, it unlocks worlds of possibilities when it comes to rhyming multi-syllables. And number 2, and probably the more important piece of advice, is that rhyming is not even 100% necessary while you're freestyle rapping. In fact, rhyming itself is one of the least important skills in freestyle rap. Things like rhythm and lyrical context and the energy that you put out are always going to be more important than rhyming. So if you ever find yourself at the end of a bar and you don't know how you're going to wrap it up and you can't think of a rhyme in the moment, then just end the bar without a rhyme. If you move right onto the next bar with confidence, your audience won't even notice. So go ahead and download the rhyme game if you want access to this random word generator. And remember, as always, be creative and have fun.